What we're going to look at today is how we navigate around myosh as a product. Now, in order to do this, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the incident reporting module, but pretty much everything that I'm going to tell you today applies to any module that you happen to get in myosh. First things first, we're looking at, on the left-hand side, a navigator. This, of course, contains all of the modules. You'll see in this navigator that there are a number of circles containing numerical values next to some of the modules. Now, what this indicates is that you have, in this instance, 11 actions that have been assigned to you. Now, who you are, in case you don't know, is up over here on the right-hand side. You're Angela Edmondson. There's your picture. And Angela has been assigned 11 actions. By clicking on any of these links, those actions will open. And of course, the same is true. 3 incidents have been assigned, 3 items in contractor management, 1 health management item. So what we'll do is we'll go inside incident reporting and we'll have a look at how you can manipulate the views of data and what functions are available to you in order to do that. Now, first and foremost, a really cool feature is this one up here, hierarchy. If, for example, you work in a particular area of the business and you really are not interested in seeing all of the information from all over the organization. You can see here in this site column, you've got, if we just order it, you've got information from head office, Mount Bryant, Triumph Hill. But what happens if you just happen to work at Mount Bryant? Well, what you can do is you can come up here to this hierarchy section, click on it, and select Mount Bryant as the place that you work. You might also go to Triumph Hill for some reason. If you save this, it highlights the fact that your hierarchy has been set by site, and of course it now filters out absolutely everything across all modules by just those sites that you've selected. If, on the other hand, you want to filter this a little further, maybe you're only interested in the maintenance department. If you click save on that, it now tells me at the top that the hierarchy is filtered by department and site. Now, this is a great thing if you're going to set this up once and kind of forget it. It's not such a great thing to go and set this up on a daily basis, because if you've got this set up and you leave it there and forget, you're going to be completely unaware of the fact that things are happening in other areas of the business. My suggestion here is that if you only look at one area of the business across the entire organization and through all modules, do it through this hierarchy, but otherwise filter the views as I'm going to show you in a moment. So we'll just remove those filters so that we can see everything again. It saves it, and of course it now shows me that the hierarchy we're looking at is everything, all. So we've got everything back. Now, if we go and have a look at these views, across the top we've got the column headings. What's actually in the view is something that's configurable by your administrators and something we'll cover in another video. But for now, if we have a look at the controls that you can put in place in order to filter views, you'll see that actually what we can do is we can turn this view into a report. So if we have a look at site, first of all, by clicking on the actual word site, it will order it alphabetically. We click on it again, it orders it in reverse alphabetical order. If we want to filter, we can click on the arrow and we can choose which sites we want to look at. Now, in the brief description, which is just a text field inside a form, we might want to look for only incidents that contain the word fell. So we'll click here, we'll type in the word fell, and what it does is it searches for every incident that contains the word fell in the brief description field, that one. Date occurred, well, we know what a date occurred is, but what we can do is we can set a range of dates within the view. So if we're looking at, let's say, everything that occurred since the 1st of January 2017 first, and we'll leave that at today's date and we'll set that. So now what we've done is we've filtered this view on site. We're only looking for the word fell in the brief description field, and we've filtered by the date occurred. Now you could go ahead and filter by anything else that you wanted. Status, pretty much the same as we saw with site. You can filter on any values. But we're now happy that this particular view represents something that we would want to look at on an ongoing basis. If we just left it like this and we moved somewhere else, say we went to another module, and then came back, what would happen is we would have lost this. We would have come back to the default view that was set up previously. We don't want to lose this. So what we can do is we can save the view. The result of saving the view actually puts the name of the view up here under a heading called User Views. And if we drop down this list, what we can see is a whole bunch of other views that have been saved by us and potentially by other people if they've made them global views. And if I want to click on that, I can simply click on, say, Mount Bryant incidents. And what that does is shows me another view of the data that's been filtered by the Mount Bryant site. And now if I go and click on another module, let's say I go into Actions, and from Actions I come back into Incident Reporting, you can see that I'm still in the Mount Bryant incident because that's the view I was in when I left the Incident Reporting module. But I now want to see my 2017 incidents. I click on the drop-down list, click on Incidents 2017, and there's the view that we saved a few moments ago. In order to get to the default view, there's one called Default, and this is what is provided by myosh for everyone to start off with. What you can do is click on 2017 incidents and either rename them or delete them. Right, let's move on then. We'll have a look now at some of these controls over on the left-hand side. Obviously, new record is exactly what it says it is. In this case, we're in incident reporting, so clicking on new record will create you a new incident report. If we look first at export, this is really, really useful because what we've now done is we've created that 2017 incidents report, and we think that's really nice. We'd like to extract it. All you need to do is click on export and select PDF, Excel or CSV, and you'll be able to export exactly what you see here. If on the other hand you'd like to add some additional fields to this report, over on the right hand side you can see 3 lines here. If you click on those 3 lines, you can select additional columns. So maybe you want the name of the supervisor or the reporting person. And what it does is it adds those as columns into this report. Now, of course, if you wanted to save this again, you would have to click on Save the View, overwrite an existing view, enter the name of the view, and save it. And what it would do is it would save the additional columns over the top of the existing view. Alternatively, just create a new name and delete the old one. The other thing that you can do with these columns is you can move them around. So if you want this view to be by reporting person, you can just grab the column and drag it to wherever you need it to be. Import. This is a really useful function because what this enables you to do is download a template in Excel format that you can then populate and later on re-import into myosh. So edit, change, save, move on to the next document. So what you can do by clicking on yes is you can extract all of the documents in the particular view that you're in, that you've built, takes it out to Excel, you can edit them all, and then when you're done, you can re-import them with all the changes. Okay, let's go and have a look now, and this is the search option. Now, the search option, if you remember what I said, if you type a word into brief description, it searches just for a word that happens to be in the brief description field in every incident rather than searching through every module. Search option does exactly that. Now you can, if you click on the drop-down list, you can search for various items, or more commonly, if you're just searching for a word, and we searched for the word fell previously, and you press enter, what this will now do is search through every document in every module together with any attachments and go and find everything that contains the word fell. So here we've got a lot more information, and some of them are incidents, some of them are hazards, inspections. And what it does is it opens up a search results area and gives you the search result. Now let's say we decide we want to run another search. Go and look for the word rigger. Press enter, and what it does is it goes off and looks for every document that it found with the word rigger in it, in any field that is. But what it hasn't done is overwrite the previous search. You've still got your search results, and now you can flick between search results. There's also a My Activities link. Now if you recall, we had a look at these little numbers over here, and I said that each one of them represents how many of that particular module you have to go and resolve. If you click on My Activities, what this does is puts them together in one view for you. Last but not least, there's a little item here called calendar and another item here called time period. So we'll start with calendar. What is it? Well, it's the ability to turn the view that you're looking at from a list of records into a calendar view that looks like a calendar. Not really appropriate in incident reporting, but if we go and have a look at, say, actions, it makes a lot more sense. So what we've got here is a set of actions. We can see we've configured these to have some colors and icons showing the different statuses. So anything overdue has got a little cross on a red background. But if we click on calendar, what this does is turns it into a calendar view. Now, but if I go back a month or two, maybe to September, what I can see are all the actions that were due in September in a calendar. And if I wanted to click on them, I could simply click on the link and it would open the document like it does at any other time. And this calendar option is something that can be configured. To get this back now to what you saw before, a record view, you just click record list and it changes it back to the standard view. Time period is just another way of putting in a global filter so that you don't have to worry about putting in a filter on a particular column. So if you only want to see what's been going on for the last 6 months, you can say, show me just what's going on for the last 6 months. But again, you have to bear in mind that if you leave that there and someone asks you about an incident or an action or something else that occurred 7 months ago, if you start looking for it, you're not going to find it. So be careful when you use these filters. They're very, very handy, but unless you actually pay attention to what you've set, you can get yourself into a little bit of trouble. Okay, well, we've come to the end of this. When we come to the next videos, we will be looking at some more in terms of navigation, but this will be more inside the documents themselves. And we'll have a look as well later on at all the configuration to show you how some of this information that we've been looking at is actually put together by an administrator. Thanks for listening.